Hachette Audio presents The Gamble, written by Kristen Ashley, read by Emma Taylor. Chapter 1. Timeout. I looked at the clock on the dash of the rental car, then back out at the snow. I was already 20 minutes late to meet the caretaker. Not only was I worried that I was late, I was also worried that, after I eventually made it there, he had to drive home in this storm. The roads were worsening by the second. The slick had turned to black ice in some places, snow cover in others. I just hoped he lived close to the A-frame. Then again, he was probably used to this, living in a small mountain town in Colorado. This was probably nothing to him. It scared the hell out of me. I resisted the urge to look at the directions I'd memorized on the plane, or more accurately, before I even got on the plane, which was sitting by my purse in the passenger seat. There was no telling how far away I was, and what made matters worse was that I was doing half of what I suspected, but wasn't sure, was the speed limit. Not to mention the fact that I was exhausted and jet-lagged, having been either on the road, on a plane, or in a grocery store the last 17 hours. And not to mention the fact that yesterday, or was it the day before, I couldn't figure out which in changing time zones, I got that weird feeling in my sinuses that either meant a head cold was coming, or something worse, and that feeling was not going away. Not to mention the further fact that night had fallen, and with it a snowstorm that was building as the moments ticked by. Starting with flurries, now I could barely see 5 feet in front of the car. I'd checked the weather reports, and it was supposed to be clear skies for the next few days. It was nearing on April, only 2 days away. How could there be this much snow? I wondered what Niles was thinking, though he probably wasn't thinking anything, since he was likely sleeping. Whereas, if he was off on some adventure by himself, or even if he was with friends, which was unlikely as Niles didn't have many friends, I would be awake, worried, and wondering if he made it to his destination alive and breathing, especially if he had that niggling feeling in his sinuses that I told him I had before I left. I had to admit, he didn't tell me he wanted me to ring when—
Sample complete. Ready to continue?